Hani. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome, Tom. How are you?
Well, thank you. Good to speak to you again. I know we spoke not so long ago for the podcast, so it's actually good to get together and actually demo what it is your product is and show it off to the world.
Sounds awesome. Excited, man. I'm excited to be here.
Nice. So for those, I guess, for most people who are viewing this, who be in the content world specifically, let's give a quick rundown on what Repurpose is and what it is we're going to be covering today. I think that'd be a nice place to start.
Sounds good. So yeah, Repurpose is it's an online platform for repurposing audio and video. Main focus being audio podcasts and any kind of video, whether you're live streaming or whether it's just videos that you have. And the goal is to get you the maximum exposure. And that's what we're about is automation. You set rules in our system and then
Mhm.
getting the content into those platforms and all different styles and video types, which we'll dive into a little bit today.
Nice. So one of the things I think was interesting to me about Repurpose, which is slightly different than a lot of other automation tools, was actually dealing with like large video files because there are platforms that just like can't do that. I think there's like a limit on size. So can we just explain like that little nuance with Repurpose and like the actual like use cases in where your content lives and then where you can publish it to?
Yeah, absolutely. So repurpose is you can think of as a connector. It's almost like the Zapier. It's like the bridge between two different applications, two different platforms, and it takes from one platform, puts it onto the other. For example, we're going to cover 4 use cases here. We're going to talk about people who have audio podcasts, so people who create audio-based content, how to turn that into videos and also get them published to YouTube. That's one example. You can publish it to multiple platforms, but in our demo today, we're going to go from audio to a nice looking video to YouTube with one click, which
Nice.
is really cool. Then we're going to talk about Zoom. Like a lot of people are using Zoom these days, so we're going to talk about how to take a Zoom cloud recording, something you've recorded over Zoom's cloud service, and how to one click get that onto YouTube as well. And
I
then we're
like
going to do
it.
another case for live streamers. So if you're doing Facebook Lives or any video content on Facebook, but in our demo we're going to focus on Facebook Lives. Let's say you go live on Facebook. Once you're done, you can have an automation kick in and take that video, full video or portions of it, boom, again to YouTube and other platforms. We're going to cover YouTube specifically today. And last but not least, let's say you've got a video file sitting on your computer. You're like, all right, I got this awesome video. I recorded it. How do I get this onto all these different social media platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, etc.? You can build an automation that says, hey, as soon as I drop this file into this Dropbox folder, I want you to take it, boom, do something with it, convert it to a vertical square, whatever you want to do with it. We'll cover that in a bit, but also fire it off to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Again, it could be the full or it could be clips from that episode. So those are the 4 use cases we're going to cover today. And we'll dive in, I think, a little deeper in the next session to really kind of get to the cool stuff and all the even more advanced automations. But today's session is just a high level, show you exactly how to set this all up in Repurpose.
Amazing. Yeah, it's one of the things where we're seeing a lot of content online now, especially like long form video, long form podcasting. And usually the thing that takes the most time isn't actually recording the content, it's actually processing it afterwards into multiple different formats, posting it on different channels and different layouts and verticals and captions and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, I think people are going to really enjoy this one.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, it's so good. I mean, it's so flexible. This platform is flexible. It lets you decide where you want your content to go and in what style and what shape, what captions, whatever. We'll dive into that fun stuff. It
Love it.
puts you in control and it puts you in automation mode. But it also has the flexibility to let you control things manually or even schedule content if you want to. So for those who are a little afraid of too much automation, you do have flexibility. It's not necessarily forced to be automated.
Yeah.
We had some funny stories with some customers in the past that they're afraid of automation, and I don't blame them, right? It's your content, it's your channel. You want to kind of be cool and be aware of what's going on, and you do have options within our platform.
Got it. Well, without further ado, then let's show everybody what it's capable of. If you want to share your screen, Hani, then I can add it in. Also, if you're watching anywhere online, you should be able to ask questions. If you're watching on Periscope, YouTube, on a Twitch channel, MakeAPad TV, it should be live on there as well, and also Facebook. We can pick up any comments you leave or questions for Hani. So fire away if you do want to ask something.
All right.
There we go.
Awesome. We've entered the matrix.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I love this. Okay. Before we dive into the actual software, I wanted to give a quick, kind of high level overview of kind of some of the capabilities before we dive into a demo of really how simple it is to set this up. I'm just going to I'll bring this here. Okay, that's good. So again, it's an online tool. It's an online platform. It does the heavy lifting of creating videos, taking videos from one channel, putting it onto other channels. So I'll start with video content. So if you're a video creator, whether you're live streaming, whether you're doing just video on your phone, doesn't matter. Any kind of video content, if you start with a video, you can repurpose it into, we say, at least 28 pieces of content. But how does our system work? Well, we can take videos from these platforms at the moment. So we can grab a video from Facebook. We can take a Facebook Live. We can take a Zoom cloud recording. We can take any file from Dropbox and any file from Google Drive. And I say any file, there is some kind of limits on how big a file can be physically, like megabytes wise. There's some limitations in the API. I think it's under a gig or 700 megs. We're trying to work around those, but those are kind of API limitations. But the goal is any file, any live stream, any file you can drop into your Google Drive folder, Zoom, Facebook Live, or Facebook can be sent off to these platforms. You can send them to YouTube. You can send them to another Dropbox folder or Google Drive folder. You can go to Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. And we're constantly adding more and more integrations. We don't have a direct integration with Instagram or IGTV yet. We're trying to get our permissions set up, but there is a nice, cool little hack, which I think we'll probably cover in the advanced training the next time we go around, that lets you send the video to your Dropbox. But we've added Dropbox so that the video file is yours. Like, you can do whatever you want with it. If you want to take it and put it on Instagram stories, you want to do whatever you want. It's your video. You can grab it from Dropbox, do what you want with it. And you can leave the video in its original format. You can turn it into vertical, or you can turn it into a square video. And you can also burn in some captions and put some nice titles on top so that these videos all become automatic. I'll show you in our demo.
Got it.
And last but not least, you can turn videos into audios as well. So that's one area. If you're doing video content, you can turn it into an audio podcast, and we can push that off to Dropbox. And we've also started to integrate a few podcast hosts like Captivate.fm and Libsyn and SoundCloud.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We've got just a quick question from Matt on YouTube. It says, can you take a URL of a video from a CDN?
Not right now. So it's our system. I'll show you in a second when we log in. It's not like a file by file based system. It's workflow based. So you make a workflow. You say, I want to take videos from this folder in Dropbox, or I want you to take all my videos from this Facebook page or this private group on Facebook, or take my cloud recording. So you're not uploading any files. You're not pasting links. It's not like a video editor where you do one by one.
Got it.
You make a workflow. That workflow, you customize the look of it, and it automatically makes these videos. And also you can publish, schedule, or go full automation if you want to.
Makes sense.
Cool. Yeah. But in the future, we're looking, like, if there's a use case for it, we definitely can do it. In theory, we can do it. We just haven't had a need for it or a requirement for it at the moment to do a kind of video by video basis. If you want to do that, you can fire it up to your Dropbox folder, Google Drive, and go from there.
Gotcha.
Awesome. And great question. And then the other kind of angle, which is very similar, if you start with audio content, you can do basically the same thing. Start with audio and then turn it into a video. We have these engaging videos with, audiograms, they're called in the podcasting space, with waveforms and stuff. You can get them vertical, horizontal, square. your choice. And again, you can publish to the same platforms, to YouTube, to Facebook, to LinkedIn, Twitter, or just have that video file on Dropbox and Google Drive to do what you want with it. And also, everything I showed here can be either a full episode or you can create multiple clips. So you can we call them snippets, but you can just create a bunch of snippets from one piece of content right directly from our platform, and then schedule that content directly from repurpose.io.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. So
lots of use cases running through the head straight away.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I love this stuff. So there's so much you can do, and we're adding a lot of interesting integrations as well in the new year. So, I feel like this is just the beginning, which kind of I think we talked about in the podcast. I get excited about that. It's like the possibilities are endless. We just keep integrating more platforms and opening up doors for content creators to put their content in multiple places.
Love it.
Okay, I'm going to shut this down and go into our software and show you kind of, how this platform works. So I'm not watching the comments right now because my screen is here, but you're welcome to interrupt me. Yeah, interrupt me anytime. I can stop. I can answer questions about a specific thing that we're looking at, and just giddy up. Let's do this. So there's kind of two main areas of our software: connections and workflows. Connections are, they're your connections. So we connect them, a connection between Repurpose and your YouTube account, a connection between Repurpose and your Dropbox. So these are your social media accounts, your Zoom account, whatever it is that you're trying to, that you're basically giving permission for Repurpose to access, either upload to or read content from. So we kind of put a little indicator here. These are all the different types of connections we have currently, and it tells you whether it's an input, an output, or both. They can be used as an in and an out. So you can repurpose from, or you can repurpose to. Some of them are dual purpose, like Facebook and Google Drive, etc. So I've already connected my accounts, but you would basically, which one haven't I connected to? I've already added Dropbox. The idea is very simple. You can choose an account, and it pops up with an authentication, just like you connect to Buffer or social media or any other social media platform. So I don't want to. I already have those connections active. I don't have to do it again. But you would choose whatever it is and say add connection. Give it some kind of name so that's easy to identify. And it says pops up. It says, hey, do you give us permission to give Repurpose permission? Everything we've done had to get approved by all these platforms. We've been approved by Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. We've gone through their approval process. So, there's no passwords or anything. It's all done through regular social media, good stuff, So that's important from a security perspective, because some apps ask you for your Instagram password. That's always a big red flag for me. When they ask for passwords.
I think so. Yeah, or like overextended permissions, etc. I'm sure we're familiar with those sort of apps.
Exactly. So that's all we've all done through all the approval cycles. So once you add the connections that you need, you can always go back and add more. Let's say you forgot something and in the future you want to add more, you can add more. But then the fun stuff happens. So this is where we create our workflow. So a workflow is 4 steps. You give it a name. You say, what am I repurposing from? Like, where am I reading? What content am I taking? What's my action? What am I doing to it? Am I going from audio to video? Am I going from video to video, video to audio, etc.? You choose that. And then the last step is, where do you want me to send the final product to? And those are the 4 steps. So let's do it. So our first use case we talked about is going from an audio podcast to a YouTube video. So let's make that work. I've already done these here, but I want to do it live here as well in front of you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new workflow. Give it any name you want, something clear, because once you start making workflows, you kind of lose track of how many you have, and it sometimes gets confusing.
We've all felt that pain in some form of software in our life.
Yeah, what did that mean? What did I mean by that? So try to be clear. You can always rename them later, so don't worry about that. But Hani's podcast to YouTube, let's say. And then first step is your input. What am I repurposing? I am taking my audio podcast. Okay. If you have more than one podcast, it would show up in this list. Like you can connect it, depending on your account, you can connect up to 5 or more podcasts feeds. So when I say podcast, I didn't show this in the connections page. When I say podcast, it's not a podcast episode. Just want to make sure it's clear. It's your podcast show. So your podcast host, whoever you're hosting with, we're compatible with anybody. They give you what's called an RSS feed or a podcast feed. You just copy that and you paste it into our connections tab here, and you're good to go.
Oh, okay. That's really interesting to know, rather than actually connecting to the app like directly. You can just run it off of an RSS feed. So yeah, it's compatible with anything.
Exactly. So we're not, there's no limits as long as you have a podcast host that gives you a feed, and all of them do. You won't be on on Apple Podcasts, you won't be on Spotify or Google Podcasts without a feed. So every podcast host will give you a feed. You copy it, you paste it. We check that it's valid, and boom, you're in business. You never have to like upload an episode to us. I'll show you. It just gives you your entire podcast. And it's always updating with all the new content automatically. Okay, so I'm going to start with an audio podcast. I'm going to say, what's my next step? What's my action? I'm going to take the audio and send it to a video. Perfect, makes sense. And here I can choose full episode, or I can choose snippets. I'm going to choose snippets for the demo, just so that the processing time is faster. You can see the result quicker, but totally up to you. Depending on your podcast show, you might want to do clips on YouTube. You might want to put the full episode if it's relatively short. I'm just going to choose snippets. And the last step is, where do I want to send this product? I want to fire it off. Well, I could fire it out to different places, but in our demo, we're going to talk about going to YouTube. Okay. And if you have a playlist, all your playlists show up here. So you can choose a YouTube playlist that you've already created, or you can go ahead and create a new one right here. So you don't have to leave our app and make a playlist. You can just do it right here. For this demo, I'm just going to leave it as none and hit create repurpose workflow. So we haven't done anything yet. We haven't, published anything yet. All we did was we made the rule or the workflow. So here's the rule that I just created, Hani's podcast to YouTube. So if I go to view episodes, every single episode I've ever published, this is my test feed, so all the names are a little wonky, so don't think I publish weird stuff, but
no judgment here.
Yeah, episode 0, episode 17. Anyway, so every single episode shows up here. And because I chose clips, ignore this for now. I don't want to this is more advanced stuff. We have the smart logic that will pick up some clips for you automatically. I don't want to cover that in the basic, so ignore this.
Okay.
Just stick with this first episode here. I click the scissor icon. It loads up the audio episode into a little trimmer tool. I can pick the clip that I want. Go something like this, go something like that. Give it a name. I can say, whatever. Hani talks about repurposing like a ninja. I don't know. This is like the clip that we're talking about here.
Yep.
Specifically. And
1 million views, surely, that clip.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And you say create snippet. And I can create as many as I want. So I can make, we always recommend our customers to take at least 5 if they can, almost like 5 key takeaways from the podcast episode. If you don't know, you're not sure, you can always just, do the first 2 minutes or the first 30 seconds or the first whatever length that you want. And then that's it. Then you hit publish. So before I publish, because you're probably wondering, hey, we're going from audio to video. What the heck does it look like, right? Before I publish anything. So that's where you go into the settings and you kind of decide what you want to do. So we have a bunch of different settings. I'm not going to cover every single option, but the key thing is you want to decide whether you want a horizontal, vertical, or square. Since it's YouTube, I always prefer horizontal. Horizontal. And then you can upload your own template. We give you some specs here on how to design that, but we give you 6 basic ones to start with. I'm just going to show you quickly what it looks like. So templates are very simple. We have this background image that you can upload or you can choose from, this blue stuff. And then our software automatically puts in the episode title or the clip title right here into this on top. It builds a nice waveform, an audiogram type thing that moves around with the audio, and also automatically pulls in this square image from your podcast. So for example, you have a guest on your show. When you upload your podcast to whatever host you are using, they usually give you the option to put an image of a guest or an image for that episode specifically. And if they don't have that option, then we'll just use your main artwork for your channel. So this square image is automatically populated. This is automatically generated. Title's automatically inserted. Everything else is your template. So you can design it, your free will, design it, brand it the way you want. And the nice thing is you upload a template once and you never have to kind of tweak a video ever again. Every video will be a little different and have a unique title and a unique episode artwork, but you don't have to do any video editing. There's no video editing involved, and that's the heart of our software. So I'm just going to choose that template. There's a bunch of settings, intro, outro. I don't want to cover this stuff. I'm going to dive in more in the advanced section.
Okay. Yeah.
But just hit save and then go ahead and hit publish. So when I hit publish, I have the option to publish now or schedule it for a later date. For this demo, I can publish now. So one thing I want to mention is you have the opportunity to change the title here again if you want to. This is the title that's going to appear on the video right across the top here. So you can customize that if you want to even further. And then this is the description that goes on YouTube. So if you want to put in some certain keywords on YouTube for this episode, you can do all that from one interface. I'm going to leave everything as defaults for now and just hit publish now. All right, so when you hit publish, it enters our queue. We have a massive queue, bunch of servers doing a bunch of things, and you know it'll get its turn relatively quickly. So if I just wait a few seconds and then just refresh the page, yeah, then it kicks into processing. Okay, cool. That's it. That's all you need to do. So just to kind of recap, you made a workflow that says take my podcast feed and send it to YouTube. I went inside, I saw the episodes, all my episodes. In this case, because I made a clip, I chose the clip that I wanted. If I said full episode, it will just publish the full episode. And then I just said publish now. And well, I picked a template and I said publish now. So again, depending on the length of the video, server loading, etc., it may take a few minutes for this to process. Mm-hmm. So it's not only making the video, it's also firing it off to YouTube for you automatically. So that is the general, that's how our workflow works. The only thing I want to mention is if you do have the option to automate fully, meaning see how this button up here, it says manual.
Yeah.
Manual means you go in and you either publish / schedule the episode whenever you want it, this clip or the full episode if you're doing a full episode. Auto, which makes sense for some of the workflows. I don't think it makes sense personally for clips, but if you're publishing the full content, like say you got a video, you want the full episode to go into a video and onto YouTube channel, you can turn this to auto. So what auto does is two things. One, if you want it to, it can, when you click auto, you'll go in and take every single episode here that we see down here and just start making videos. So your entire podcast feed can be onto YouTube within, well, hours, maybe days if you have over 1,000 episodes.
Wow, okay.
But in one click, you can have your entire podcast feed, all your shows on your podcast, all your episodes on your podcast show, turn into videos if you want to. Go onto videos automatically onto YouTube. So you like almost instantly, well, with one click, and then you go to bed and you come back next morning, you'll have like hundreds of videos on your YouTube channel.
Gotcha.
If you wanted to do that.
Yeah. What's the upper bounds of like length of podcasts for this sort of thing, or is it file size?
In this case, I mean, I don't think there's really a limit. YouTube's limit is, I want to say 2 to 4 hours for a single video. But yeah, I mean, we have people doing hour episodes, not an issue. I mean, it just takes longer. We're rendering a video, right? HD video out of this. So it does take time to do it. But the nice thing is once you set it to auto, If you wanted to do the entire thing, you just turn to auto and then you just shut down, and like it's all wet, it's all cloud stuff, right? So nothing's running on your machine. You don't have to leave it, computer open, computer running, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
But the
We
second advantage of, oh, sorry.
So we had
Go
a
ahead.
question from Matt again. Prior to publishing, can you preview and export the preview
Preview and
of
export to
a
preview.
snippet? I guess.
Okay, that's a good question. Not with direct publishing, but with our scheduler. So when we schedule something, let's say I'm going to publish this clip. When I click publish, and I click the schedule icon, I can schedule this for whatever date and say schedule. It's going to do the same thing, enter the queue, and then it's going to render the video and give you an opportunity to preview it before the publish date happens. So you can do that.
Nice.
We can do that when you schedule content. Our recommendation, I mean, this is something we're adding for sure, is the ability to preview what it looks like before it goes out. But our recommendation, at least for now, is to go ahead and just either send it to a Dropbox folder as a first time around, just do a Dropbox folder, or send it as a private video. You have some options here in the settings to make videos private on YouTube. So if you're not sure, publish one, see what it looks like as a private video on YouTube. Then if you're happy, then you can change the settings here to be public videos going forward.
Got it. Or you could, like you said, you can add like a manual approval step in the middle with like a Dropbox folder. Once you say you could say have a to be approved and like approved, and then once it goes from approved to be approved into approved, you can have another workflow kick in to publish that one instead of.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, to be honest, even simpler is just you can have the setting. If you're really concerned about every episode, if you have somebody on your team, or you're concerned about what it looks like, you can go in the settings and say, hey, I want each video to be private when it goes to YouTube or unlisted, your choice. And then from YouTube, you can release it there. You can say, okay, I like it. Boom, I can release it there. Yeah, there are options. There are options.
I was just thinking if there was somebody who's maybe in the team which isn't maybe like logged into YouTube, into your YouTube
correct.
channel or something, they might want like a bit of a manual approval process if you're
Yes,
part of
for
a
sure.
content team or something.
For sure. So you can do that for sure. So you can send it to a Dropbox, and then you can have another workflow that picks up from Dropbox and fires it off to YouTube. Yeah, it's very flexible. You can kind of daisy chain these things up together if you wanted to. So yeah, so when this is scheduled.
Sorry, could I just say just one thing on the scheduled thing? So the reason you can't like download the preview is because you haven't rendered the video at the point of. So while it's in here, unless it's scheduled or you've hit publish, at that point the video gets rendered. So before that, there's no way of downloading anything.
Exactly. We are going to work on like a preview where it kind of it does a mock up of what the template, pre-render a clip or a few seconds to show you, because that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But that's something we're working on. We have a completely new interface and new template designers and stuff like that kind of coming in the new year. So I'm excited for that, which one of them is the ability to preview what it looks like, and then also do everything within the app itself. So you can design templates within the app. So we have a lot of cool stuff coming in the new year. We've been working on for the past probably 3-4 months already. So
awesome.
I'm excited for that. So, but yeah, if you're not sure, you can either publish to YouTube as a private, or you can schedule it. And then when you schedule it, it's ready now. It's scheduled for this date and time. You can preview it here. This will open it up and give you a file that you can preview. So it's, yeah. So there it is.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. So this is the video. We got the title. We got the waveform. A little almost like a progress bar kind of built into the waveform. And yeah, so nothing is published in this case because I scheduled it. If I don't like it for whatever reason, I can always cancel the schedule. Go ahead and cancel the schedule. And then redo it again. All right. So this one went off to YouTube. So if I click this preview icon, because this one's published, it's going to send me right to the YouTube video so I can check out what's going on. So,
yeah, I like the fact that you can like upload obviously your own designs. You can upload like your own designs and you can publish it into different formats. So this is just purely one design into YouTube. So all the rest is like customizable, like shape, size, snippet length, etc.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can make each workflow. It's got its own settings. So this workflow, let's say I want all my full episodes to go to YouTube. YouTube, to me personally, horizontal is the best way to go. So I would set this workflow to be horizontal. I can design my own template, little background image that I upload here, and then going forward, all my videos will use my template and they'll be horizontal. And then I can make another workflow. Is, hey, take my podcast clips, turn them into videos, and send them to Twitter. That would be another separate workflow. And then say, oh, you know what? Twitter likes squares. I'm going to go with square. So you can design a square template, and it looks kind of like this, and make the Twitter workflow square. And you can have one vertical. So there's no limit on how many workflows you can make. But each workflow has its own customizable settings, including like template, what shape it is, etc. So it's really flexible. In the advanced training, you can even set up like call to actions. So you can add text to your tweets, and you can add subheadlines. And there's a more advanced stuff I want to cover in the advanced training, in our next training. But just
sneak peek. It was
the sneak peek. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. You can have intro, outro files. Like, say you got a bumper video that you want to put in the beginning or at the end. You can upload that here, and then each video in this workflow will automatically have the bumper video in the beginning and the end, or both if you want to.
Nice. I think that's going to be a big one for people as well.
Yeah. So there's a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. But basic idea is a workflow is in, action, and out. Start from here, do this to it, send it here, and then I can go in and select the ones that I want to publish or schedule. Or I can say auto, which will do two things. One, if I wanted to, I can turn that off. If I wanted to, I can say publish my entire podcast, put it onto YouTube, which is cool. But even cooler, I think, is when you're in auto, let's say tomorrow you publish an episode to your podcast feed. You don't need to log into Repurpose and do anything. Within every 1 to 2 hours, it checks. Oh, new episode. Boom. Make the video. Boom. Send it to YouTube. So once you're in auto, it's in full auto. It'll do whatever it needs to do for that workflow when it detects a new episode in your podcast feed, in this example.
Like it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So options. Yeah, option. You're flexible if you want auto, semi-auto, scheduled, kind of. And I find with our users, it varies depending on the workflow. Like if I'm taking the full podcast to YouTube, hey man, just put it on auto, let it do its thing. I don't care. Let it go every day. I publish a new episode. I don't want to be logging in here doing anything. But if you're doing clips and snippets, you want to choose your own snippets, and then you want to schedule those once a day, for example. I want one to go Monday, then one Tuesday, then one Wednesday. You don't want all snippets to go out at the same time. So depending on the workflow, you may want to set some to manual, some to auto, and some you can schedule.
Yep.
All right. Awesome. So I think that's the idea for podcasting. The next one, any questions about, going from audio to video?
No, I think that's good. I think we dived into that pretty well.
All right. Awesome. So I think our next use case was Zoom, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Zoom?
I think so. It's going to be a popular one.
Zoom. Yeah. So Zoom has the option for cloud recording. I think you have to be on a paid plan, or one of the free plan doesn't let you cloud record. So I just bring that up because some people don't see that option in Zoom. So this works with cloud recording. So you can do a video recording, whether an interview style or whatever you want to do with it. But the idea is I can take that recording and repurpose it, just like I did with my podcast. So how does that work? Well, the first thing, I've already added my connection, but I just want to remind you, just make sure you have a Zoom connection. You would click Zoom, add connection, give it a name. It pops up, the Zoom pop-up. Do you authorize Repurpose to access your Zoom account? You say yes. Boom, you have a connection. All right. And then it's kind of same kind of deal. We're going to make a workflow that says take, Hani's Zoom recordings to, wherever. I mean, it can be Twitter, it could be YouTube, it could be whatever. For
Yeah, I
this
think
demo, I'm gonna say you. Sorry, go
YouTube's
ahead.
a good one because of the limits. If people are looking at, or maybe even currently using automation tools, they would have run into the problem where, oh, okay, we can't do it because the size of the file is too big to do it through like a different automation platform, which is why one of the things that makes Repurpose unique.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing I do personally is, well, my Zoom gets full, right? After like a certain number of episodes, like, oh, your cloud recording is getting full. Well, I have a workflow that says, hey, just dump it into my Dropbox. Just every time I publish a new recording, take it to my Dropbox. And then when I get the warning that it's all full, I just delete all my Zoom recordings because I know I already have a backup in my Dropbox or Google Drive. So that's kind of one
Smart.
of my use cases for for working around that. But there's many, right? You can use it like we're doing here. Take the full recording and go to go to YouTube, or you can do little clips. So you want to tease out, if you've done a audio recording for a show that you're doing, you want to tease a little clip out of it. You don't have to go download, edit this. You can just go from here and
Exactly.
publish a square video directly. So let me show you how that works. So Zoom recording to YouTube, let's say. It could be anywhere, but I'll just say YouTube.
I'm currently
This
logging into
time,
my Zoom account to check if we hit the limit on our Zoom recordings or not. So
yeah,
I set up a workflow pretty quick.
get that workflow going, set it to auto, then you don't have to worry about it. It just,
That's
every
it.
time you put a new cloud recording, boom, it send a copy to
Like
your
it.
Dropbox. So yeah, this time we're gonna start with Zoom. All right, cool. My action is I want to upload the video. I mean, you can even convert the video to audio if you wanted to. This is another option. When you start with video, you can have the option to go to audio. But in my case, I want to go to YouTube, so I'm going to take the video. I can say full video or I can say clips. Doesn't matter. I'll just say full video. And then where do I want to send it? I want to send it to my YouTube channel again. All right. All right, so it's doing that. There's my new workflow. It's Zoom to YouTube. Awesome. Video to video. Awesome. So I can go and view videos and I will see all my meetings that I've had recorded in the cloud. I'm lazy. I don't rename the meetings when I have them. They're usually with my team and stuff like that. But
I
in
think
Zoom, if you
most
rename
of
the
us do
meeting,
that.
yeah, if you rename the meeting, that's what's going to show up here. Because it is if you're doing this with guests and stuff, you want to get in the habit inside Zoom to, I think somewhere on the top left here, when you start a call, you can go and edit the name so that the recording itself in Zoom is clear. You know which one it is, but also when Repurpose pulls it, it shows you the proper title. But yeah, so you can click here and like preview the meeting. If I click any of these, it's going to open the meeting. Just to preview the Zoom meeting here. All right, there it is. We're doing some internal training. So then same kind of deal. I can go in my settings and I can say, hey, I want you to either take the original video, like don't do any resizing to it, and send it to YouTube. Or I can say, hey, I want you to turn it into a vertical video. Or hey, I want to make it a square video. So your choice, depending where you're going to go with it, you can change the style of the video. Original video, there's a bunch of advanced settings here. So again, we'll cover it more in the advanced training. But I'll just leave it as the original video. You can add intro, outro, all that good stuff, and hit save. And then you just hit publish. It's the same kind of deal. And you'll see an option for captions. On any workflow that starts with a video, you have the option for captions. In the next use case, I'll show you how that works in automation mode. But we don't have captions. There's no way to get Zoom doesn't do captions. Put it this way. I know they have some integration with Otter, but your standard Zoom account doesn't automatically generate captions for you. But if you have a workflow that works with a captioning service, Rev or Otter or whatnot, you can upload your own captions file here. And what that does, it'll burn the captions right into the video. I'll show that in the next use case, but I'm bringing it up now just to show you how that you do have the option in any video-based workflow to upload your own captions, or if you're starting with Facebook, which is the next use case, you can grab the captions, the free captions from Facebook, which is really
Okay. Yeah.
cool. So I'll show
Interesting.
that. That's coming up next. Yeah, so just give it a title, whatever it is. This is an awesome meeting. And then this is what the title is going to be on YouTube. And then you just hit publish now. Same kind of deal. And same deal. If I wanted to go on auto, it's just going to take all these videos, fire them off to YouTube as they go.
Got it.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much more to say about that. You can do the same thing. When I made the workflow, I said full episode, but if you wanted to do clips, you can do the same thing, or you can make little clips using our tool, which I'll do in the Facebook video example. And yeah, I think that's as simple as that. I know it sounds simple, but
yeah, it
that's
sounds simple, but it's actually like saving an enormous amount of time, just because when you're uploading, especially like video files, you either have to, if you're recording to the cloud, you have to like download it from the cloud and save it and then upload it onto YouTube. You have to keep your like YouTube like tab open until it's uploaded, etc. And then you probably want to check it. And also, yeah, we're going to get onto the captions in a minute, but being able to add on like the bumpers at the intro and outro, like that's one that's just really useful to have.
Yeah.
And then yeah, like processing video from one size to another also requires like time to either open it inside of an editor, then edit it, and then usually export it. So if you're like exporting let's say an hour-long video, that's going to take a lot of time, and then you have to kind of go back and check and then upload it. So yeah, I know this seems like very simple to see, but if you think about all the steps involved in like both ends, it's actually saving a lot of time.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. It's awesome. Like, I don't say it's awesome. It's our tool. Of course, I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
awesome.
an awesome time saver in the sense that you don't need to do video editing skills. You don't need to have video editing tools. The next use case right now I'm going to show you is a Facebook Live, taking a Facebook Live and getting it onto YouTube. I'm going to burn the captions right in there and turn it into a square video for you and show you how simple that is without any skills. So that's a perfect segue right into that workflow.
Nice.
So I'm going to take a Facebook Live. And it's Facebook Live to YouTube. All right. Same kind of deal. I'm going to say take my Facebook Live. I could take regular videos if I wanted to from my Facebook page or group or whatever. But, I'm going to do my Facebook Lives. And I'm going to say page. I can do group. I can do my profile. But I know my page. I always recommend page because Facebook pages have free automatic captionings from Facebook. So you get free captioning service from Facebook with the option to go in and edit the captions right on Facebook. And the bonus is we integrate with those captions. So we grab those captions for you automatically. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So I'm going to choose my Facebook page, my repurpose.io. Again, I can do full video or I can do snippets. I'm going to do snippets just because I can show you a sample quicker instead of rendering the whole video. But you can do either or. And then I want to send this off to YouTube. Let's say create workflow. All right, so there's my workflow, Facebook Live to YouTube. All right, cool. View videos. These are all my videos on my Facebook page that we've ever done. All my live videos that we've ever done. We do live trainings every month or so. What you'll see is this. So if Repurpose detects that this video has captions on Facebook, it's going to show you a little closed caption icon here. So when you see that, you're in good shape. What that means is when I make a video, I can burn the captions automatically without me having to do anything. I'll show you what I mean. So let's go in the settings. I'm going to go to a square video because it looks cooler. There's some color options to customize the progress bar, and etc. I'm not going to touch that, but you can play with that. There's a little advanced feature here I like to show off here. It's kind of handy if you can put a little watermark on the bottom right of your video if you want to. I'll show you what that looks like. So I'll put that in there.
Stop people
And
ripping it down and reposting it.
yeah, and then I'm going to say enabled. Sorry, I'm going to say burn captions into the video. Turn that on. All right, and a little note, if you don't have captions, you can always just put static text, right? You can say like, learn more at repurpose.io or some kind of call to action that will show up on the bottom of the video.
Yep.
So if you're worried about captions and they're not reliable or you don't want to do them, no worries. You can still have this cool looking video. You can still use static text, which you can drop in right here if you want to. But I want to show you the caption feature. I'm going to turn that on and hit save. All right, and then this is all my videos. I know this one has a caption on it, so I'm going to just make a quick snippet out of it. So it's very similar to before. I'm going to basically load the video in here, drag a little slider and create a little clip, like about a minute long or so. It's about a minute 33. Okay. I'm going to just give it a nice title about what I talked about here. Let's see. Hani talks about repurposing. So this is the title that's going to show up on top of the video. You'll see this in a second. I'm going to create the snippet and just publish it. This is the title again. If I want to tweak it, I can tweak it. But here's the option where I can use the captions from Facebook. I told to use it. If I don't have them, I can upload my own captions or I can say none. But the cool part is coming. And then that's it. I'm just going to leave everything as default. So it takes the title. I'm going to hit publish now. So it takes the title, it takes the description, everything from your Facebook page. So every time you put a video on Facebook or you go live on Facebook on your page, you can go in and edit the title, the description, all that, thumbnails, all that stuff, all on Facebook. And Repurpose will take all that and metadata, title, description, thumbnails, captions, and automatically use them when it's publishing to YouTube. So you don't have to type in like the title again or type in the description again. It pulls all that information from your Facebook video directly. So if you're onto Facebook and let's say I go to one of my pages, you can edit any of your videos and set all that good stuff, title, description, thumbnail. And this is my video here, so I can just go, I think here, edit post, I think it is. Facebook's new interface, just they keep changing things around. So you can set the title here, the description, captions, all that stuff. So if you do everything on Facebook, thumbnail, you do it once on Facebook. And then every time we take that video from Facebook and repurpose it to YouTube, to Twitter, all the work is done. Yeah, it will read everything automatically. You don't have to re-enter, copy and paste all this information back. So you can upload a nice thumbnail here, do your captioning, fix it all up here, do it in one place, your Facebook page, and then repurpose everything from there. So let's see where we are here. All right, it's done. Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, the captions are a big thing actually, because like, I guess you can, once you've got the captions from Facebook, like you said, if you are putting then into maybe like a static image with like an audiogram, you can actually pull those captions all the way through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can upload a thumbnail. You can do, well, it depends. But you're starting with audio or you're starting with video?
Starting with video, let's say starting with video, video, like Facebook Live video.
Yeah.
You could have that as a starting point and then publish a like static. Could you publish a static audiogram to Twitter with captions?
Not yet. Not with a video. So when you go audio to video, like when you start with a podcast, you can go to video.
Okay.
Sorry, audio to video, and then we put in the audiogram. We don't have captions for audiogram. That's coming in, I want to say January-ish, by end of January, with more template designs, more customizable templates, so you can move things around. Right now, our templating is kind of rigid, but we're in the new year, we're going to be releasing the template.
You could just publish a video clip, can you?
It'll make a video clip out of the audio. Yeah. So you can't, at least at the moment, you can't go regular video directly to a audiogram. Okay. You would have to do regular video to audio. Mm-hmm. And then you can have to say Dropbox folder. And then you can have one that says, okay, read the Dropbox folder audio and then make an audiogram. So you can do it that way in 2 steps,
Gotcha. Okay.
2 workflows,
Makes
I should
sense.
say. Okay, so let's go
Nice.
check this out. If I hit this preview, it should take me to my YouTube account, and there we are. So we got title across the top, we got the video, we got the watermark here, progress bar, and the coolest thing is the captions are burned right in. So I made this video. You saw me make this video by literally just picking a couple settings and hitting publish. There's no video editing tool required. I mean, you can customize colors all in the workflow settings. So this is extremely powerful to get video content out quickly. Right now it's the template builders are color based. You choose a background color, text color. Early in the new year, part of that big updates, we're doing customizable fonts, moving elements around. If I want the progress bar on top or on the bottom, you design a template with all the elements where you want them. I want captions here, progress bar here, etc. And then boom, every video will be using that template. So the goal of Repurpose has always been automation, in a sense that you don't need to be doing this video editing or tweaking on a per video basis. You design templates or you choose templates, and each video will come out consistent.
I think, yeah, it just seems like it seems so easy once you're doing it in Repurpose. But if anyone's created these sort of things before, pulling out like video snippets out of a larger video, be it like an interview or a workshop or a live stream or whatever, and then turning it into like another format with captions with that progress bar in different formats. That takes so long.
Yeah, and I can go in and make a second workflow and then just change it to vertical. So if I want to use this on my Instagram TV channel, boom, you can go in and like duplicate a workflow. I can go duplicate this, and then just change my output to Dropbox, and then change my settings to vertical. Then I have a vertical version come out, so it's ready for IGTV or ready for whatever you want to use.
Gotcha.
Pinterest, anywhere else. So it's super simple to work with, and in the new year it's going to be super customizable as well, which makes it really exciting for me. So
yeah, right. Yeah. Is there a question for me? Is there a Twitch source? Can you have Twitch as a source?
Twitch source. We've looked into Twitch. We had early on people ask about Twitch. I know they have an API. We haven't got enough requests, but I'm just wondering, like, you're thinking Twitch as an input, right? Like you go live on Twitch and then you want to repurpose from there, or you want to repurpose to Twitch? What
Repurpose
comes to mind?
from Twitch.
From Twitch. Okay.
So basically, the issue with Twitch is right now. So one, obviously, like streaming content, it would just make it really easy for people to repurpose content to other platforms, because like, if you've got a stream, you can get like hundreds and hundreds of snippets out of a stream. But then there's also this DMCA thing that's going on with Twitch at the moment, where streamers have had to delete their entire back catalogs off of Twitch. So basically, no streamers are keeping the content on Twitch. As soon as the stream's up, they're having to like pull it down, save it, and then get rid of it on Twitch, because they just have fines for like copyright strikes and that sort of stuff. So if there was like a easy way to like pull it down like immediately, then that's just like not an issue. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, interesting. We'll definitely look into that. I'll add it to our list of integrations, because we had people ask in the past, and then it kind of went quiet. We never looked into it. I mean, I know Twitch used to be more gaming. I mean, it's still a gaming platform, game streaming platform, but I think a lot more people are using it for other types of live streams.
For everything, now. Yeah. Chess has made a giant comeback.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
All right.
One of the most viewed esports on Twitch now.
Interesting. Okay. Well, definitely gotta look into that for sure.
Nice.
All right. Awesome. So that was the caption thing. Basically taking a Facebook Live or a video. It doesn't have to be a live video. It could be any video on your Facebook page. Burn a caption video in 1 or 2 clicks.
So good. So good. What which was there any other examples we were going to show today, or is
I think that's pretty much. I mean, the last one was.
I know we're pushing on an hour, so just didn't want.
Yeah, I mean, the last one was more generic, just taking any video from Dropbox and sending
Got it.
it
Yeah.
to YouTube. I'll do it really quick in like 5 seconds. I won't actually
Mhm.
publish it, but the idea would be this. I can make a new workflow. I can say Hani's Dropbox to YouTube or to wherever. I say
Mhm.
YouTube. You select Dropbox, and then you can say, is it audio content or video? I'll just say video content. Then you can choose which folder you want to repurpose from. So let's say I want to grab from this, folder here. Say choose videos. Sorry, choose folder. All right, so it's going to take from this folder, and I want you to send it the full episode or full video to another Dropbox folder, or sorry, we said YouTube. Sorry,
Yeah.
so YouTube
YouTube.
again.
Yeah.
Boom, and that's it. So go here. It shows me all my videos in my Dropbox folder, and I can hit publish, 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 or I can turn on auto and say there's actually a setting that says ignore everything before a certain date. So
Okay.
like I
If you
say,
want
I
to
want it to
publish
be
a
an
bit of a back catalog.
yeah. I don't want the back catalog. I want
Yeah.
starting tomorrow. I can set that option here. Choose which videos to publish. I say on this date or newer. Let's say starting today or starting tomorrow, and then I would say auto, and nothing's going to happen here. But tomorrow or today, I guess, whatever the date was, I drop in a folder and I drop in a video in that folder. I think every hour, 1 to 2 hours, we check for new
Yep.
videos. And if it detects a new video and this is in auto, it gets to work. Boom, fire it off to YouTube.
Amazing.
So that's another use case. There's a ton more, but
Yep.
it really honestly, if you're creating content and you're just starting off, or you've been doing it, you're not really getting onto multiple platforms. If you just click on this question mark, there's a course called the Repurpose Blueprint, and it's like a step-by-step guide on how to take one video, turn it into 28 pieces of content. It shows you how to make every single workflow and repurpose. It really walks you through, takes your hand and walks you through each video. So if you want to check this out and you're trying this out and you don't know what workflows to create, just click the question mark, click here. It's a free course, and there's a section on how to start with audio and how to build all your recommended workflows. And there's another video series on how to make the same thing for video or live streaming content. So I highly recommend it. If you're a little bit not sure where to go with, or have I done all the workflows, check out the blueprint. It's free. You just click it from here right inside the app.
Amazing. So
All right.
that was great. Good to see like just all the basics covered. I think we had like a few use cases in there for anybody creating content in general, be it like podcasting or like long form like interviews, like workshops like this. It's perfect for. And we have another one coming up, another one of these coming up in a week, same time next week, I think, 5 p.m. same time, same day, same platforms. What are we going to cover in that? Because I know there's a few features we touched on and glazed over. Do you want to talk about any of them, or do you want to keep them
No,
under
let's
our
talk
hat for
about
now?
it. No, we got to get people coming back. So we're going to talk about scheduling content more. I mean, I showed it a little bit, but going to kind of dive a little bit more about scheduling. We have some features with hashtag filtering, so that if you only want certain videos with certain hashtags to go through, not all your Facebook videos, you can set up a hashtag filter to do that. And then talk about automatic clip creation. So there's multiple ways to automate the clips. So I showed you the manual way, drag a slider here, but there's some ways you can automate it quite a bit, so that you don't have to make every single video clip. It just show up in your workflows automatically. And I'm going to dive deep into those as well. And I think those are the three main areas.
Yeah, cool.
It's just advanced automation and kind of fine tuning about how to just be more efficient with your content.
That's what it's all about. Amazing. Well, I'll get this that published on our schedule. I think it'll be on scheduled on our Twitch channel as well, MakerPad TV. And it'll be on the website as well, makerpad.co. So if anyone wants to tune in, same time next week, we'll be diving into some more automatic versions of our repurpose workflows.
Awesome.
Hani, thanks very much for your time. Really appreciate it. And I'm going to go build some stuff.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Tom.
See you, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.